Hi everyone, welcome to English 101. I just want to make a quick video to go over some of our major policies in the class. All right, so this is me. I'm Jessica Boykin. I'm your professor for this class. And if you ever want to meet with me, either in person or on Zoom or Google Meets, I am available Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. and then Thursdays from 1 to 2. And you can just drop in at any of those times. If you have classes or something during those times, don't hesitate to reach out to me and we can always just make an appointment during another time. Those are just when I'm always in the office for you. We're going to have 5 writing projects in this class. Our first, and actually, you know what? I'm just going to go over them one by one. Um, so our grade breakdown for this class is going to be, we're going to start, we have reflections. Those are worth 3 points. We have reading notes. That's going to be over just 5 different readings that we're going to do in class. Those will be worth 5 points. We have peer review on 3 of our projects. That'll be worth 6 points. We have process writing assignments. That's going to be like little pieces to kind of work up to the papers. Those will be worth 28 points. And so that's like a lot of the points in the class. And then papers will be worth 58 points. And so that's where most of the points are, is in our like writing projects, papers, but we have a lot of other points in the process writing as well. So our first project is the literacy narrative. This is the one we're working on this week. Basically, what you're going to do is reflect on your past relationship with reading and writing, and then kind of establish some goals for the future. It's going to need to be 2 pages double spaced, and what we're working on skill-wise is reflection. Okay, it's also just kind of setting up kind of your goals for the rest of the semester. Our second project is the narrative argument. This is going to be taking a lot of that reflection skill and moving it towards making an argument. Narrative arguments are the most persuasive types of arguments that we have. So this one's going to be 3 pages, and you can see here the skills that we'll be working on. I'm going to go into more detail about what this assignment will be after we finish our literacy narrative, so starting next week. Our third project is the intervention essay. And basically for this one, we're going to be taking a case from Am I the A-hole on Reddit, which is like an online forum where people talk about things, arguments they've gotten into. And we're going to take a side and we're going to write about why one person is right and the other person is wrong. It gets a little more complicated than that, but that's the gist. And then it'll be 4 pages long and we'll have to have at least one cited source in the project. Our fourth project is the research project part 1. This is going to be where you do like a deep dive into a subject of your choice, and it's very open. If anybody is like, oh no, I hate when it's like that because I can't think of topics, I will help you. If you need help finding a topic, I love coming up with topics and brainstorming topics with people. But basically, we're going to find 10 different sources that give us information about that topic. It'll help you learn a little bit more about how to cite sources, how to find different types of sources, which is going to be really important for the rest of your college. And then our final project is going to be taking that research that we did for the previous project and putting it into some sort of we call it multimodal, some sort of thing that you could share with other people. So you could make like a zine, which that's what this is over here on the right side of the screen. You can make a poster if you want to make something that's like physical, and you can always turn it into my office or something like that, or take a picture and share it with me online. Or you can make like a web comic, you can make an infographic. And so basically you just want to make something that's sort of like visual that you could share with other people that's sharing the research that you did. Okay, with all of our projects, just keep in mind that you can revise and resubmit. The only one you really can't do this with is the final project. And even then I would still accept it. It's just that it's due pretty much the very last day you can turn anything in. And so typically by that point, you'll kind of know what to expect though for the grade. That's usually an easier grade is the final project. And so if you do end up deciding to make any changes in your paper, I'll accept them through the end of the semester. And so you can also make like little changes. You don't have to like rewrite the whole paper or anything. So like if you get points taken off for your thesis statement, you can just rewrite the thesis statement and turn it in, even if you had a bunch of other, things on the paper that got marked up or whatever. Okay, so feel free to resubmit. And you can also resubmit more than once. So don't feel like, oh, well, I already resubmitted, I should have made more changes. You can resubmit it again, okay? This isn't really super relevant in terms of in seat, but it's important in terms of assignments. So see, this is an online asynchronous class. We're never going to meet in person, right? But if you are turning in work regularly, right? So we usually have like an assignment or two a week. You want to make sure that you're turning in assignments regularly because that counts as attendance. And so if you're missing a lot of assignments, I'll reach out to you and say, hey, you've actually missed like a lot. Let me know if you still want to stay in the class. Otherwise, I'm supposed to drop students who miss more than 4. And so if you're missing a lot of assignments, then that might be an email that you get from me. Oh, here we go. Here's my online one. So yeah, we're gonna have assignments due. Make sure that you're turning those in. Okay. I'm not gonna be absent to an in-person class for us, right? We don't have those. But if you're noticing that something is like missing on Canvas, for example, like let's say there's an assignment due and you can't submit it, something's wrong with the link, please let me know as soon as possible. I want to make sure that everything is easy to access, easy to find, and that you can submit anything, okay? Late papers. If you know that you have a test coming up or you have another paper due on the same day our paper is due or anything like that, keep in mind that you can always ask for an extension. And this is also just like maybe you got stuck writing the paper, right? And you're like, I don't know what to do. You can just ask for an extension and you get an extra week to finish that paper. Okay, so it's kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off, especially if you have a lot going on. I'll do this with most projects too, especially for papers, but some, other projects too. The only thing I won't accept this for is stuff like peer review because it affects other people if you get an extension, right? Because then I would be telling the other person that they have to wait a week to do the assignment. Okay, generative AI. This is like a huge buzzy topic right now. Basically, you can use generative AI for things like creating outlines, making, like maybe you get stuck and you can't think of a transition to use. You can use it to some extent with research, but I just want you to be really careful about using generative AI for writing. I'm not going to accept any generative AI writing like as an essay. And I want you to be really careful about using it for things like citations because it does make things that look correct that are actually made up. And so I've had students in the past lose points for turning in stuff that they thought they were doing the right thing, and then AI kind of messed it up for them. Okay, so just kind of know what it is, know how to use it. And I'm happy to talk more about this with you, but usually where we're going to see it being the most useful is if you feel stuck, or if you feel like you could use a little bit more structure or something like that. It can be helpful as a tool to kind of go to and say, what should I do? Okay. Basically, if you're having trouble accessing anything in the course, a link isn't working, the font is too small to read or too blurry or anything like that, please let me know. I'm happy to make any changes to the class to make it accessible. And it doesn't have to be like a formal request. It can just be something like, hey, the font in this PDF is too small. Is there any way that you could, make a change? Okay. At South, we have technology loans. So if you need a laptop, I think we might still have some portable hotspots. I'm not sure. It says so on the website, but I don't know. Then you can click this link and fill out a little form. And then that is going to get you set up with your laptop to use. We have snacks and groceries on campus. And so if you're feeling hungry, or if you know that you need to get groceries, we do have these options every Monday through Thursday. Gabriel's Pantry has like a little snack that you can get. I think you just have to show them your badge. And then shopping at South is, both of these are in the student union, by the way. I think you can go in, it says every 2 weeks. I'm not sure that's right. It might be every week. I think it's every 2 weeks. Monday through Thursday, 11 to 2. And basically, it's like a little grocery store that they have set up in the student union, and you can get groceries to take home. Scholarships and financial aid. This right here, this first link is a link to a scholarship application that's very simple, and then it sends it out to hundreds of different scholarships. And so this is the one that I've had the most positive feedback from students where they're like, thank you so much for sharing this with me. But we do have a few others too that you might have heard of. We have the Honors Achievement Scholarship and the President's Scholarship. And so if you want to learn more about these have more to do with things like grade point average and things like that. But you might want to learn more about them. Getting scholarships makes, maybe it makes it so you don't have to take as many hours at work or something like that. It can make things a little bit easier and can raise your chance of success in college. And then the last slide is our DRS and Title IX statements. I'm not going to like paraphrase or anything here because it is very specific and legal. So if you want to look these over, though, you can click this link and there's more details here, including contact information if you want to reach out. For example, if you have a disability, just know that you can contact the office and get official accommodations, and then they will contact me and say, here's how you need to change the class to make this class more accessible. With Title IX, this is mostly going to be related to things like, we as a college and district do not discriminate on the basis of color, race, national origin, sex, disability, or age. And so if you're noticing discrimination, harassment, and other kind of things discussed here, there's ways that you can report it, including you can report to me, and then I will connect you to people who can move forward in the process. All right. Please let me know if you have any questions. I want to keep this pretty short, but I'm really looking forward to having you all in class this semester.